guys, great to see you all here tonight. Is the microphone working?
It's working?
Oh, is it?
It is.
I can. So,
That's well.
Fantastic. Right. Yeah, it's nice to see everybody enjoying the fantastic, beautiful summer evening that we've got here in Prague tonight. By coming here and watching this, which is great. Yeah, great to see everyone. So, guys, is everyone enjoying their summer here in Prague?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm also enjoying mine as well. Unfortunately, I'm not going anywhere this year in the summer.
Why would you?
Yeah, that's it. Prague's a beautiful city in the summer, and I think that the summer is actually the perfect time of year to kind of explore new places in Prague, especially in like July and August, because I mean, for anyone else who's staying here in Prague throughout the whole summer, if you want any tips on how to explore new places in the city, what I would recommend in July and August, in fact, if you kind of get on the tram, right, if you get on the tram that you normally take to work, and if you stay on that tram for the normal amount of stops that it normally takes you to get to work, you'll end up in a completely different place. Yes, it's almost as if the Prague Transport Company have kind of got together and thought, why don't we take the different trams on holidays to various different places all around Prague. Just, yeah, you don't know where you're going to end, do you? I hear Depot Hostivage is very nice at this time of year.
It is!
It is, it's a beautiful place anyway. And the one good thing about travelling on the tram though in the summer, because everyone's actually on holiday, it means that finally, for the first time in a year, finally get a seat in the tram. Been waiting for about 10 months to get a seat. In fact, for 10 months, right, I've been standing on the tram like this, looking down at the person sitting in the seat. Been thinking, you may be having fun now, right, but I will have my time. Come July, come the start of July, you may be sitting on a beach in Croatia, right? But I'll be sitting exactly where you are, not just for a few stops, but for the whole journey. All the way to Depot Hostivage. So, that's it. It's not, to me, right, I think it's not the older people that are taking the seats, it's the younger people who get on the tram and they always try and take the middle ones, because then they know if they take the middle one, then they've got a bit of a buffer of about 3 seats where they know that they don't have to take any action. So they leave the front few seats free, right? And those seats look like the best ones because they're right next to the door of the tram, so you know you can just get on and get off, right? But really, the front seats are a bit of a poison chalice, because if you're sitting on the front seat for your journey, you're going to end up on a kind of journey of your own morality and values because you've got to judge the physical condition of every single person. It's like, well, his legs look fine, but like his posture isn't too great, and you know she looks fine, but got massive heavy bags. So it's not just the people; it's also the objects that they're carrying as well. Also, children. What do you do with children? I don't know what you guys do. I don't know whether to stand up or sit down. Children is a very grey area, isn't it? It's hard to know where the boundaries are. That wasn't meant to be. It's far too early in the set to start making paedophile jokes there, but that was so. To be honest, what I do, I just let them go and sit down, because if not, they only stand right next to you and kind of stare at you and make you feel really guilty for staying sat down. So, and in fact, to be honest, I'm a bit of a, I don't really like children, to be honest. So I don't really like to be around children, and it almost got to the stage where it is a little bit of a phobia. And I think other phobias, like if you're scared of spiders, if you've got arachnophobia, people are quite open about that now. It's not a problem, it's just a bit of a joke. But for me, like, you know, with children, if you have paedophobia, right, people are not willing to admit that they are paedophobes. And, yeah, I am, you know, I am, come out now and say it like I am paedophobic. And actually, it can lose you quite a lot of friends, because a lot of my friends are actually having children at the moment, and I got a call from a friend the other day who asked me if I would look after his children, if I would babysit for him, and I had to say, look, sorry mate, you know, I'm a paedophobe, but I can refer you to somebody who's a professional babysitter and things like that, and yeah, he just put the phone down, which, yeah, didn't really like. No gratitude at all. Just put the phone down. I've not been able to speak to him ever since that time. So yeah, it's been pretty bad since then. So, like I say, guys, I love summer in Prague. Do you know what? One of the best things that I love about summer in Prague is, guys, and I'm sure you're all going to agree, it's all the tourists. Love the tourists.
What?
And I can see you're all, I can see loving it. The tourists, right? All the tourists with the smiling faces walking around Prague on the segways.
Yeah.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Annoying as
Fantastic
fuck.
to see them all driving around on those segways. I can see you all really agreeing with me. Yeah, I've got the audience now, haven't I? I've got the audience.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, great to see them all. What they do, they kind of stand there and they go a little bit like this, right? It's quite hard to actually mimic being on a Segway without actually having one here. Yeah, they kind of go like, this isn't me trying to get a seat on the tram. Right? This is, right, what they do, they kind of edge forward on the Segway like this, right? Because they're worried that if they fall off the Segway, they're going to look like a bit of an idiot. Right? And for me, I don't think they seem to realise that they actually look like more of an idiot by staying on the Segway than falling off the Segway. In fact, right, if I see somebody who falls off a Segway, I think, well done, right, congratulations, right, you're actually making an effort to improve yourself by falling off the Segway and not embarrassing yourself by driving around. You know the inventor of the Segway? He was actually a British guy, and he actually, unfortunately, quite tragically, killed himself by mistake by driving off a cliff on a Segway. This is completely true, guys. I'm not saying this just for comedy. He was driving around the English countryside with his family, right? And there was a steep part. He was on this kind of trail, and there was a steep part, and he accidentally drove off the side. It's completely true. And I just think justice was kind of done there.
It was a Segway that gained conscious.
That's it, yeah, that's it, yeah, another Segway unconscious as well. And I think he's the only guy really in human history to have actually improved himself by driving himself off a cliff. Because he actually spared himself the embarrassment of having to drive around the English countryside on a Segway. So good for him there. I imagine his family must have thought, as they were edging closer and looking down at what had happened, they probably thought, yeah, we'll probably leave these, probably walk the rest of the way. A lot of Prague people, though, like a lot of local people, don't really like the tourists, right? And a lot of people, actually, locals, whether they're Czechs or whether they're non-Czechs, they seem to avoid the Old Town Square, they just avoid the Old Town Square like the plague, really. And the only way that you can actually get a local person to go anywhere near the Old Town Square in Prague is if you tell them that there is a rare Pokemon it's about to spawn right opposite the astronomical clock, and then they kind of flock to it. But I think it's quite unfair that local people here don't like tourists. I think it's difficult to complain about tourists because if you live in a town where there's lots of tourists, it means that you live in a good town, right?
You stay away from them. You know?
Yeah, stay away
from the centre.
That's it, yeah. You live in a good town, stay away from the centre maybe. But I think the only way that you can complain about tourists really is if you live in a town which is full of tourists and it is also a really shit town, right? There aren't many places like that in the world, but there is one, right? The only place, if you live in this town, you can complain about tourists, is if you live in Chernobyl. Because if you've just moved to Chernobyl, right, you can walk around the city and say, well, it is a little bit dead. Nightlife's not really great either. Nightlife's quite poor. It's a shame because there's a lot of empty warehouse spaces which would make quite cool underground clubs.
Everything is shining.
That's it, everything's shining, yeah. There's a good fairground there, but the big wheel, never working now and then. Schools are fantastic, and the books in the schools are actually even open at the page that the students have to be on, and the lesson is even already written on the board, but teacher never arrives. So, yeah, and it's full of fucking tourists as well, so really terrible. The only good thing about, well, the one thing that is better about Chernobyl than Prague, right? Yeah. Comparing Chernobyl to Prague. One thing better, no Segway tours in Chernobyl. Not yet. Because the only thing that's worse than a Segway, guys, is a radioactive Segway. Cancer-emitting Segways are a lot worse than the normal ones. Fall off a Segway in Chernobyl and you're going to get a face full of plutonium. And again, the question is, what is better? Is it better to stay on it? I'd rather smear my face in radioactive plutonium than have to like go around there on a Segway. Another good thing about Chernobyl as well, guys, lots of very rare Pokemon in Chernobyl. Yeah, lots of mutated, very rare Pokemon there. For all the Pokemon players in the audience tonight, if you want to catch them all, right, you've got to put the effort in. You've got to go to these places. Chernobyl, Mosul, Pyongyang. You've got to get yourselves there, guys. Dako Hostivaj. So, like I say, right, I'm not going on holiday this year, which has really annoyed me a little bit. And it's annoyed me even more because it is actually 10 years since I first went on my first holiday without my parents, right? Me and all my friends together when we were 17, we went on a holiday to Kos, right? And for a group of young lads at 17, going to Kos was a very exciting adventure because it meant kind of sun, sea, and sunburned English women, right? Yeah, which is fantastic. What a favourite. And I just remember the excitement of actually packing for these kind of holidays at the age of 17. We went there for a whole week, and I used to pack my suitcase full of swim shorts and flip-flops and things like that. And then we had two boxes, like two big boxes of condoms, right? Not the little 3-pack ones. Yeah, not the 10-pack ones either, but it was like, you know, the big 15-pack ones. So just in case during the course of the week I had sex with 30 different women. The reason why I took two, right, because if I'd just taken one, right, if it was getting towards the end of the week and I'd had sex with, say, 15 different women, I'd feel like such an idiot for not bringing the second pack. For some reason, though, guys, I don't do very well. Well, I just don't do very well with women. I'm not very good with women at all. I get quite a lot of dates, right? But the thing is, I turn up to the date, but the woman doesn't always turn up at all, right? And the last time I went on a date, right, I decided to meet this girl outside Palladium, right, at 7 p.m. We weren't going to go to Palladium, but we decided to meet outside there, right? And I got there for around like 7 o'clock, right, and then I was just waiting for the girl to arrive. And as time goes on, there's a kind of thought process going on in my head as I'm waiting and she's not there. It's like, well, what is going on here? And in order to protect myself, to protect my own kind of, my own dignity and my own kind of self-pride, I like to think that the reason that she's late is not because she's not really bothered about being there, right? So after a while, we're kind of standing there and she's not there, and I'm thinking, maybe she's dead. What other possible explanation can there be other than the fact that maybe she's dead? Maybe, thing is, I'm standing there and I'm kind of panicking, and there's no, see, I've not got contact numbers for her parents. I can't contact her parents. I should have asked, you know, always ask this guy before a first date. No, you know, no one to contact there. And then I think, yeah, maybe she was kind of, running. Maybe she was running to get here on time. Got hit by a tram or something like that.
Or by a Segway.
That's it, by a Segway. The thing is, I'm standing outside Palladium looking onto Namiesti Republiki there, and there's no ambulance. There's nothing. I can't see any ambulance. I can't see any trace of this at all. The trams are running just normally. Well, say normally, they're all off in different directions anyway, but trams are all running normally. And then I think maybe she was running to get there just a few minutes early. I got hit by a tram, and then maybe they've cleared it all up. And, very efficient with that, and maybe the trams are running. Because the thing is, right, we'd arranged to meet at 7 p.m, and it's now 7:03, right? And the problem as well with that is when she does arrive, I've worked myself up into thinking that she might be dead, and suddenly she's here, so it's a little bit of a shock, really. First dates could be a little bit awkward anyway, but when you actually think that someone's dead, it just makes it a lot worse. So, there's a little bit of awkward chat at the start, but then, then anyway, we went upstairs in Palladium, went into the KFC, and once you sat down in KFC on a date, then all the awkwardness just goes away. So, so like I say, guys, right, I'm not very good with women, and I didn't know why, and I've finally found out the answer to why I'm not very good with women, right? It actually concerns my aftershave, right? I've been wearing the same aftershave for about 3 or 4 years now, right? I bought it with me today, right? It's this aftershave. And maybe, I could just get someone in the audience to read the name of the aftershave for me here, because this is real. This is real aftershave here.
Ooh.
Which is,
ISIS for men.
Yes, ISIS for men. And it is real. That is, this is from Marks and Spencer's actually, right? This is absolutely real, right? And for years and years, for years and years, I've been buying this. And actually, in fact, I should have got you to read what it says at the bottom. It gets even better. On the bottom, it says eau de toilette, right? Avoid contact with the eyes and Western society. There's has anyone heard of this at all? Is this real? Has anyone heard of this?
Never.
No one. I'm quite surprised because ISIS for Men are quite well known for having a particularly aggressive marketing strategy. What they do at ISIS for Men, in order to eliminate the competition, what they do, right, they round up representatives from all of the other major aftershave companies, right? They blindfold them all and they put them in a line, right? And they shoot them all in the head. Which, disgusting really. I don't know if any of you heard about it on the news. It was only a few weeks ago. They had CEO of Hugo Boss, right? It's Hugo Boss right here. And then next to him was Ralph Lauren. Then there's Diesel Only the Brave. Don't know if you know the one with the little fist there. Wasn't so brave when he was not so brave there. Also they had, Paul Smith, Gucci for Men, and Gucci for Men Sport, right? And they lined them all up, shot them all in the back of the head, and they posted the video on YouTube as part of their advertising campaign. How bad is that? And not only that, it's not only people who are part of these aftershave companies, also innocent people, right? If you happen to be wearing the wrong aftershave, what they do, they go around smelling everyone, right? And if you're wearing the wrong aftershave, game over for you. Yeah, big that. Okay then, guys. Right, I think that might be the end, is Kiro.
One more.
Give it up for Dave!
We need Helena now.
Well done, Dave. Kiro has to go because he's appearing in a film scene this evening at 10.